Hi there, welcome to Blender Next. Last month, we unveiled the first look of Blender Next. Although it wasn't feature complete, we shared the idea of what we were trying to create. Let me introduce to you 1. The first major release of Blender Next. For this release, we worked hard to bring to you our biggest update yet. Blender is a great tool, and alongside with Next, you can work with Blender like you never did before. Let's check what is new on Blender Next. Right now, we have a project manager. In the last release, we already had the project manager, but we added some more features that will make it more capable and for you to enjoy working with Blender Next. But first, let me show something that I think a lot of you were waiting for. Yeah, you can maximize the screen. Yeah, this is a basic feature, but it really helps showcasing a lot more information on the screen, so you can take a good look of what you are working on. So now let's go to the projects. If you click on new project, you'll see that we have like almost the same things that we had before, but now we have more features that works. So we have like the Blender versions. I have 3 versions already installed. I'll showcase how do we install another Blender version later. But right now you can just provide like a name, like showcasing. And then you can choose a template. Templates now works, and you can choose like a like where you want to store your project. So if I click to animation, and the version control it's not working yet, but we put it there so we can keep track on compatibility later when we ship this feature. And you can choose some extensions for this project. So as it's stated here, we are only listing for the installed extensions. So these are requirements. If your project needs an extension to work well, you can provide this there, so Blender Next will help you manage this project and prevent you opening it if there's that extension is not installed. So we will leave it as it is and try to just create the project. As you can see, Blender Next is fast, and the template that we selected, it's correct, so we can do whatever we want. And then when you save your project and close it, Blender Next will automatically update the thumbnails. Speaking about thumbnails, we have some more options to help you manage the thumbnails and the quality, the overall quality. So right now by default, when you open Blender Next, Workbench is set as a default rendering engine. You can manage the size, the sampling, and the frame that you want to render. But you can also refresh your thumbnail just by clicking this button without even opening the Blender Next. So you can open any other project that you want just by clicking on it, like this. And you have exactly the file that you worked on, and all your setups will still be there. Let's talk more about the extensions. So we have like the extensions view, where we listed all the extensions available to the Blender extensions.org, and all the downloads from Blender Next are coming directly from the Blender's website. So yeah, you'll be fine, right? So if you click on an extension like you see UQPaint, you can see all the details from the extensions. This is something new that we worked, so we can showcase the extension before you download it. So you have all the descriptions for these extensions, but it doesn't end there, right? You can preview what the extension does if the developer provided some examples, right? And also we have like the versions, so you can select the version that you want to download. For this extension, we have already installed, like downloaded this version, but if we select another version, you see that you can download another version for this extension. So if I go to project and try to create a new project and go to extension, you will see that I can select that extension, but we only have one version available because we only downloaded one version. But I can go to extensions, click there, and then choose a version that I want. If I download this version, when I go to project again and try to create a new project, I can select one of the two versions that I have installed. But this is a project level extensions. We can do much more by going to the Blender packages, but we will see that later. Right now, there is something new that I wanted to share with you. So if you go to all versions, you will see that we have the details of release notes from the developer. So you can see exactly what's new from what's different from one version to another. And as you can see, when you install one extension, it shows you that it's already installed and you can remove it if you want. So the state of the extensions it's shared across multiple contexts. So you have multiple releases for these extensions, and you can view the images, and if there are videos, you can also see it. But this is just the start for the extensions. We have a lot more coming in the future. So let's explore the Blender packages. Right now you can install multiple packages across your machine with the Blender Next, and you can easily manage all of them at once. Right now, if we filter by installed, you'll see that I have 3 Blenders installed. So when I try to create a new project, we see that I have only 3 Blender installed. And we have like these letters saying that this is an alpha, this is a stable release. So you can choose without any fear that you are using like the version that you want, like the branch that you actually intended, even though you have like some versions that have some Blenders that have the same versions. So let us install a new version of Blender, right? So I'll install some random version that I don't have installed yet, like this one. It takes some more time to install the versions that are not stable, right? So yeah, the stable are faster, but this is due to the Blender servers. The speed is yeah, it depends on the Blender servers, but there is something new to the Blender's packages managers. So if you click on one Blender version, you'll see that we have like preferences and release notes, and we also have like a splash screen with the credit to the author, and also the release date for this Blender version. And as you can see, for this Blender, we have 2 extensions installed. So even if we create a new project without selecting any extension, those extensions will be available on that Blender version, right? So if I go here and open my showcasing project, you'll see that we have, I think the Blender version that we are using is it's different. So here we are using the 4.4 alpha, and the extensions are installed on 4.3. So we need to create a new project with that version of Blender, like 4.3, and text string. Yes, you can select this or not, and then you will see that we have that extensions that we have added, like UQPaint, and also the other one that I forgot the name. But as you can see, we have like one version that we installed on the Blender, like 2.1.5. So if we go to the Blender package, we have this version. But sometimes you have like older projects, or you want to create a project with some specific version of an extension. So if you go here to UQPaint, we have this version installed on that Blender, but you can choose for this project you want another version of this extension. So you can choose the same Blender version and name it like text string 2, right? And yeah, you can choose a folder and a template if you want so. And if you see here, since we selected the 2.1.4 extension for this project, it shows this version of this extension. But if we open a project that doesn't have like the preferable version of that extension, it will open the default one that is installed in Blender. So these allow you to have project specific extensions, right? So you can have multiple projects that use the same extensions but different versions, and this is really handy when you work with a lot of legacy projects that depends on older versions of the same project. So right now you can change the render settings for the thumbnails in the settings. So if you go there, you can change the rendering engine, like from Cycles to Workbench. So if you go to a project and refresh the thumbnail, it will use the new settings that you defined in the settings to recreate the thumbnail, and you can see what it looks like. Yeah, so I'll change it back to Eevee and render it, so you can see that all of these images that we have here, all of the thumbnails are being generated by Blender Next. And also we have some new updates on the settings. So we heard your feedback. Right now, if you go to settings, and you can choose the close button behavior. So the close button could be to close to exit the app or to minimize it to system tray. So if I select minimize to system tray and go back, as you can see, we have here the image that was rendered in Eevee. But if I click close and go to my systems tray menu, you'll see that we have Blender Next there. There are a lot more features that we are working on, so keep an eye on the project. You can join our Discord server where I share some updates, and also subscribe to the channel so you can see our latest updates on showcasing the Blender Next. And comment below if you have like some requirements, some suggestions, some features that you would like to have. But yeah, right now this version of Blender Next is available. You can download it and test it on Windows only. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you later.